Birdshot is a Filipino thriller directed by Mikhail Red and starring Mary Joy Apostol, Arnold Reyes, John Arcilla, and Ku Aquino. The story of Birdshot revolves around a young girl named Maya, who is being taught by her father how to fend for herself in the countryside. When she goes off on her own to practice firing her father's shotgun, she ends up killing a Philippine eagle, which she doesn't know is an endangered species protected by the law. Meanwhile, Rookie Officer Domingo investigates the disappearance of a group of farmers on a bus towards Manila. Despite his progress and heavy focus on the case, Domingo is reassigned to work on finding the killer of the Philippine eagle. I really enjoyed Birdshot largely because of the beautiful execution of its cinematography. There are a lot of stunning views of the countryside as well as unwasted compositions when it comes to establishing characters and settings. For every important communication between characters, the imagery allows us to revisit their messages in a subtle manner. One of the first lessons that Maya is taught is how to shoot at game. Before making the shot, she must match the breath of her target. Once the rhythms become one, she can then determine the target's final breath, which she will use as a cue to take the shot. When it comes time then that Maya takes aim at the Philippine eagle, we know exactly what Maya is doing, although all we see are shots cycling between Maya taking in calm breaths, the eagle looking around unsuspectingly, and the forest sanctuary they are in continuing to exist undisturbed. What we learn from the sequence then is that for Maya to succeed in her shot, not only must she align with her target, she must synchronize and find her place in the serenity of nature as a whole. The vibe I got from this film was similar to my experience watching the Coen brothers' No Country for Old Men, one of my favorite films. The minimal use of a soundtrack in both films establishes an overarching feeling that some may find boring, but I personally find intense and attention-grabbing. It encourages the audience to participate by having a natural reaction to a scene, without bias from a soundtrack suggesting how the scene should make you feel. Another shared trait between Birdshot and No Country for Old Men that I find unique and enjoyable is that there is less emphasis on the plot of the story than there is on the behavior and the development of the characters. In No Country for Old Men, we're less invested on what organizations are after Llewellyn Moss and whether Sheriff Bell can catch Anton Chigurh. Instead, we're more fascinated with Chigurh's insistence on deciding the fate of his victims with a coin flip. In Birdshot, despite the mystery of the missing farmers, we're more concerned with Domingo's attachment to solving the mystery and the actions he ends up taking that signal his descent into corruption. With this character-driven story, I do feel that Birdshot dips in quality at times because we're initially led to see some plot elements as important, but ultimately, they end up almost unsatisfyingly irrelevant. The problem in this case is that for some points, the film does more than is necessary, coming off as a bit extra. For example, there is a slight supernatural element to the film that can be said to symbolize Maya's fears. But looking back from the conclusion, which I won't spoil, I think the amount of substance given to the supernatural element was a bit distracting and its function could have been served without it, or through other means. In my opinion, Mikhail Red, the director, tells a wonderful coming-of-age story performed by an extremely talented cast. I really love the acting from Mary Joy Apostol and Arnold Reyes as they captured the youthful naivete of Maya and Domingo. The relationships they portrayed with their older counterparts, played by Ku Aquino and John Arcilla, had me relating to an array of feelings from innocence to longing to defeat. Even though the film is a work of fiction, you can find yourself understanding the gravity of each scene and situation, able to put yourself in each character's heavy shoes. This extent of being able to immerse yourself in this film makes it that much more compelling to me. Beautiful production, direction, and acting. The only slight fault I had was some extraneous plot elements. And so I give Birdshot an 8.5 out of 10. It's a movie I highly recommend watching when you have the time. Thank you for watching my review of Birdshot. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Feel free to comment below and share your own thoughts about the movie. Until next time.